Greetings, dear subscribers and casual listeners of my channel. Did you know that the Harry Potter films hide many secrets? On screen, we only see the tip of the iceberg. But so much was left behind the scenes that even the most dedicated fans may be amazed. Plot points revealed only in the books, important details, all of this went unnoticed. Today you'll learn about those deleted scenes from Harry Potter that should never have been cut. 1. The Half-Blood Prince. In his 6th year at Hogwarts, Harry suddenly developed a love for studying. He learned more from an old, scribbled-up book than he had throughout his entire time at the School of Magic. It contained not only valuable tips for potion-making, but also original spells, some of which were extremely dangerous. The book was signed __, quote, _0, __. At the end of the film, Professor Snape revealed that this was his nickname. And this raises two questions. How did he know Harry was familiar with the quote 1, and why exactly, quote, 2? The answer to the first lies in the film itself. Harry used the quote 3 curse on Draco, which he could only have learned from Snape's notes, and his sudden talent for potions clearly made Severus suspicious. As for the second question, only the books, and articles like this of course, can provide an answer. Severus's mother was a witch named Eileen Prince, and his father was a muggle named Tobias Snape. With some simple deduction, we arrive at the Half-Blood Prince. Severus's mother was a witch named Eileen Prince, and his father was a muggle named Tobias Snape. With some simple deduction, we arrive at the Half-Blood Prince. Harry burst out. Hermione confirmed. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. 2. Who am I? After being hit by his own spell, Professor Lockhart managed to escape the collapsed passageway of the Chamber of Secrets along with Harry, Ron, and Ginny. They were all carried out single-handedly by Fawkes, Dumbledore's Phoenix. The fate of the memory-lost Gilderoy was left off-screen. But as it turns out, the latest defense against the dark arts professor was taken to St. Mungo's Hospital. This magical hospital cures all sorts of ailments from the wizarding world, from cauldron explosions and bites from magical creatures to dragonpox and incorrectly cast spells. When Arthur Weasley was bitten by a snake, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, he was treated there. Naturally, the entire family, along with Harry and Hermione, visited him. While visiting the hospital cafeteria, Harry, Ron, Ginny, and Hermione accidentally encountered their former professor. Through a window in the door, a blonde, curly-haired man with bright blue eyes was pressing his nose to the glass and smiling a dazzling, clueless grin. Quote 8, said Ron, staring at the face. Quote 9, Hermione gasped. Quote 10, their former defense against the dark arts teacher opened the door and stepped out onto the landing in a long, lilac robe. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. As the healer told our heroes, he was kept in isolation because he was dangerous to himself. He couldn't remember who he was, wandered off, and didn't know how to return. No one visited him, despite him being a famous person just a few years earlier, although occasionally Lockhart still received fan mail. Despite his irreparable memory loss, Lockhart was slowly recovering. After relearning how to write, he developed a love for giving autographs. The healers at St. Mungo's saw this as a sign of improvement. Scenes set in the hospital, including a cameo from Lockhart, were planned for the adaptation of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, but they were eventually cut. In the film Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, there is a post-credits scene that many are unaware of. It shows a shop window at Flourish and Blotts in Diagon Alley, displaying Lockhart's new book titled Who Am I? He is pictured wearing a straitjacket. 3. The Invisible Army. It's great to live in a magical school. Feasts for all its inhabitants appear at the snap of the headmaster's fingers. There's no need to constantly clean, wash clothes, or handle other routine chores. But as it turns out, all of this is the result of hard, even slave-like labor. In the castle's kitchens, hundreds of house elves work. They are the ones who prepare meals for the students and clean up after them. Technically, it's slavery. But it's voluntary slavery, from which they don't want to be freed. When Hermione learned this, she was so outraged that she organized the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare, SPEW, which Harry and Ron joined half willingly, half under duress. The main activities of the organization consisted of making badges and knitting clothes, which Hermione scattered throughout the castle in hopes of tricking the elves into gaining their freedom. Quote 12. Dobby grabbed Harry's hand and led him deeper into the kitchen between long wooden tables. There were 4 of them, each directly beneath the tables in the great hall. They were empty now, dinner was over, but probably an hour ago they were laden with dishes that were sent upstairs through the kitchen ceiling. 100 little elves lined the kitchen walls, bowing and curtsying hospitably as Dobby led Harry past them. They all wore the same attire, a towel with the Hogwarts crest tied like a toga, just as Winky had once worn. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, 4, The Little Piggy. I've always liked the moment in the film Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone when Hagrid barges into the Dursleys' home in the middle of the night. It plays well with the audience's expectations, turning a scary scene into something comedic. But 2 strange things happen during that moment. First, an 11-year-old boy leaves with a man he doesn't know, even though he's been living with his not-so-caring but still legal guardians. And second, Hagrid gives Dudley a pig's tail. Sure, it's presented as a comedic moment, but have you ever thought about what Dudley went through, how he felt, and whether he got rid of the tail, or if he was stuck as a pig boy for life? The film adaptation cruelly leaves us without answers. However, Rowling quickly reassures readers. In the film, Harry leaves with Hagrid and doesn't return to the Dursleys until the end of the school year, which is odd, although understandable from a storytelling perspective. In the book, Harry's birthday is at the end of July, and after his trip to Diagon Alley, he spends an entire month living with the Dursleys. Uncle Vernon even takes him to the train station. "Why are you going to London?" Harry asked, though he didn't really care why the Dursleys were going to the city. He just wanted the conversation to end peacefully. "Taking Dudley to the hospital," Uncle Vernon growled. "They'll have to remove that blasted tail before he goes to school." Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yes, that's right. The tail was surgically removed in a regular Muggle hospital. 5. Harry struggles with the loss of Sirius Black. In the 5th movie, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, one of the most difficult moments is the death of Sirius Black. Sirius wasn't just Harry's godfather, he was Harry's last connection to his family. Losing him left Harry broken and alone. But in the film, this is shown only superficially. A deleted scene could have revealed the full depth of his pain. In this scene, Ron finds Harry in the Gryffindor dormitory. Around them, there's joyful noise. Students are celebrating the end of the school year. But Harry is not with them. He's alone. Ron invites him to join the festivities, but Harry declines. His eyes are filled with sadness. He's struggling. This is the moment when the reality of losing Sirius completely overwhelms him. The scene could have shown a different side of Harry. We're used to seeing him as a hero who pushes forward despite all the hardships he faces. But here, we see him vulnerable. Sirius was his last hope for family, and when he dies, Harry feels utterly empty. It was important to show this pain, so the audience could understand that even heroes suffer. In the books, this theme is explored in greater depth. In the 6th book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry often thinks about Sirius. He realizes that he lost not only his godfather, but also the rare love that Sirius gave him. "I've lost my last family. These words pierce his thoughts. The deleted scene could have visually reflected these feelings. Moreover, this moment underscores the importance of Harry's friendship with Ron and Hermione. Even when Harry is silent, his friends are there. Ron offers help without unnecessary words. This simple action shows that Ron understands Harry's state and is ready to support him, even when Harry doesn't want to talk. Although Hermione doesn't appear in the scene, her presence is felt in the atmosphere. Ron's concern is also hers. Hermione has always been the one who senses Harry's emotional state the most. She would have surely noticed his pain. This moment strengthens the unseen support they always give each other. 6. The Petunia we don't know. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, there's a scene that could have changed the way we see Petunia Dursley. As the Dursleys leave their home, Petunia suddenly says to Harry, "You're not the only one who lost a mother. I lost a sister." These words are shocking. For the first time, she openly acknowledges her pain. Before, we only saw her as cold and cruel. But this scene would have shown that behind her harsh exterior lies real tragedy. Petunia always seemed bitter and hateful toward magic. But this line suggests that her resentment is rooted in deeper feelings. Lily's death hurt her more than anyone might have thought. This short sentence changes everything. Behind her envy of her sister's magical abilities was hidden love and grief. Petunia's emotions aren't immediately obvious. She had hidden them behind harshness for years. But these few words reveal that she suffered. Losing Lily didn't just distance her from the magical world, it broke their bond. She always envied Lily, but she loved her, and that feeling never went away. In the books, Petunia constantly shows jealousy toward Lily's magical abilities. Dumbledore once mentioned that she was desperate when Lily received her letter from Hogwarts. But this scene in the film shows that behind her envy, there was something more, unspoken love. Bitterness became a shield behind which Petunia hid her pain. "I lost a sister" is an admission, a confession to Harry, who had never heard anything like it from her before. These words shatter the image of Petunia as a heartless aunt. We understand that her cruelty was the result of unresolved pain she carried her whole life. 7. The Dudley we don't know. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, there is a deleted scene that completely changes our perception of Dudley Dursley. The Dursleys are preparing to leave, fleeing from Voldemort. But before getting into the car, Dudley stops. He turns to Harry and unexpectedly says, "I don't think you're a waste of space." After that, he extends his hand for a handshake. This moment is striking. Dudley, who had always bullied Harry, suddenly expresses gratitude. This scene shows that Dudley has changed. He remembers how Harry saved him from the Dementors and, for the first time, acknowledges Harry's value. This isn't the same Dudley who tormented his cousin all those years. His short sentence and gesture demonstrate that he has matured and realized his mistakes. The incident with the Dementors changed him. He experienced real fear and evil, and it stayed with him forever. Up until this point, Dudley had been the classic bully, spoiled and cruel. But after the Dementors, he began to reflect on who he had been. This scene reveals that he underwent an internal transformation. He is no longer a child blindly following his parents. He understands that Harry saved his life, and his acknowledgement is the first step toward redemption. Dudley's farewell is important not only for him but also for Harry. It's the first time someone from the Dursleys acknowledges his worth. For his entire life, Harry had been nothing more than an unwanted burden to them. But here he's offered a sincere handshake. This gesture could have been a symbol of reconciliation, showing that even within the Dursley family, change was possible. 8. The final meeting of Remus and Tonks. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, there was a deleted scene that could have amplified the tragedy of the Battle of Hogwarts. Remus Lupin and Nymphadora Tonks meet on the battlefield. They run to each other and embrace, without words. This is their last moment together. In that embrace, there is all their love, fear, and despair before the unknown. The scene heightens the impact of their deaths. In the film, we see them lying dead, but without any backstory, it feels sudden. Had this moment before the battle been shown, viewers would have felt the full weight of their sacrifice. They knew they might not return, but they held on to their love until the very end. This makes their deaths even more painful. Their relationship was always about struggle. Tonks and Remus were two people who had gone through fear and doubt, but they found each other. In this brief embrace, they just want to be together before fate separates them forever. Their love is a light in the midst of darkness. The mention of Teddy, their son, makes the scene even more powerful. Remus says that Tonks should be at home with their child, but she cannot leave him alone in the battle. She replies that Teddy is safe, and her place is by her husband's side. These words add to the drama. They're fighting not only for the world, but for their son's future. For those who hadn't read the books, this moment would have been crucial. The film barely mentions Teddy. The scene would have reminded viewers that their deaths are not just the loss of heroes, but of parents who sacrificed themselves for their child. This makes their death even more tragic. 9. Draco Malfoy joins the light side. Draco Malfoy has always been an enigma. At first, he seemed like a typical antagonist, but by the end, his world became much more complicated. A deleted scene where he switches sides could have shown his final decision. In the final battle of Hogwarts, Voldemort orders the defenders to join him. Narcissa calls for Draco. He approaches the Death Eaters, but when he sees that Harry is alive, he rushes forward. Shouting, "Potter!" he throws his wand to Harry. This moment symbolizes his choice. Draco no longer wants to be on the dark side. This act reveals Draco's inner struggle. From childhood, he was raised in a world dominated by Voldemort's ideology. His parents taught him to hate Muggles and those who supported Harry. But in the moment of truth, he realizes that this is not his path. The turning point came when Voldemort tasked him with killing Dumbledore. Draco couldn't do it. He was broken, but did not become a killer. This failure showed that he wasn't as cruel as he seemed. He was afraid for himself and his family, but couldn't cross that line. When Draco throws his wand to Harry, it's the final break with his past. He no longer wants to be part of the darkness, like his parents. He realizes that what matters isn't pure-blooded wizards, but good and evil. And he chooses the light, even if it means betraying his family. 10. Harry plus Ginny. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, there's a deleted scene where Harry and Ginny walk toward the Great Hall holding hands. Silently but confidently, they walk together towards Snape. In the tense atmosphere, their touch is a symbol of support. This brief moment could have revealed much about their relationship, which is shown too superficially in the films. This scene shows that their bond is stronger than it seems. In the books, their romance develops slowly, with deep emotions. In the films, this takes a back seat. But this gesture, holding hands tightly in the face of danger, speaks more than words. They are a team, ready to support each other in any situation. For Harry, this is important. Chaos is everywhere. Enemies surround him. But Ginny is by his side, and that gives him strength. This isn't just a romantic moment. It's a feeling of confidence, knowing that someone who understands him without words is there. This moment makes their relationship not just about love, but about true partnership in both life and battle. Ginny also appears different in this scene. She's not waiting for Harry to protect her. She's ready to fight herself. Her determination is evident in her calmness. She doesn't back down in the face of danger. Their clasped hands are a sign that they face difficulties together. If this scene had been kept, it would have added depth to their relationship. We would have seen not just a love story, but mutual respect and support. Ginny isn't just Harry's girlfriend, she's his ally, someone he can trust in any situation. This moment strengthens their romantic arc. In the books, Harry often thinks of Ginny as the one who gives him hope and light in dark moments. Here, as they walk together, their touch conveys this feeling that they aren't just a couple, but two people ready to support each other until the end. 11. I love you. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, there was a deleted scene where Ron unexpectedly confesses his love to Hermione. It happens while they're running from Nagini. Amid the chaos and fear, Ron shouts, "I love you!" This moment could have been the culmination of their relationship, a confession made on the edge of life and death. Ron has always been awkward when expressing his feelings. His words in such a dangerous situation would have shown his sincerity. This isn't just a confession, it's a desperate outburst that had been building for a long time. For the first time, he doesn't hide his emotions and is willing to be vulnerable in front of Hermione. However, the scene was cut due to technical difficulties. The CGI needed to create Nagini didn't look realistic, and the director decided to remove the moment. But the loss was significant. Ron's confession could have greatly strengthened the romantic storyline with Hermione. Their relationship had developed gradually, with many unspoken moments. This would have been the climax, a long-awaited confession that the entire fanbase had been anticipating. Ron finally admits what everyone has known all along. For viewers, it would have been a triumphant moment. In the books, Ron and Hermione's feelings are explored more deeply, while in the films their romance is more restrained. This scene would have added passion to their relationship, showing that Ron is willing to risk everything for love. That's all for now. Thanks for watching until the end. I hope that means you found this interesting, and if so, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel.